Ricky Gervais can't stand Ellen, and this time, he's not softening a single word. What he's revealing about her should genuinely alarm everyone, especially since it appears to validate so many of the rumors that have been swirling for years. One family has even alleged that Ellen attempted to take their children away from them entirely. So what did Ricky actually say this time? How exactly did Ellen respond to it? And could Ricky Gervais actually be putting himself at risk? We're breaking all of that down and much more in this video. For years, Ellen DeGeneres reigned as the undisputed queen of daytime television. Her face was everywhere you looked, impossible to escape. Her message was deceptively simple: be kind. Millions of viewers around the world genuinely believed every word of it. Hollywood's biggest names lined up for the chance to appear on her show, and for a long time, it seemed like absolutely nothing could ever tarnish the carefully built image she'd spent decades constructing. Then, without warning, everything changed completely.
Ellen DeGeneres' show is facing new allegations this morning of rampant sexual misconduct and harassment in the workplace.
And then, almost without warning, the stories began spilling out from behind the curtain. Former employees came forward, accusing the show of harboring a deeply toxic environment behind its cheerful exterior. There were accounts of intimidation, mistreatment, discrimination, and outright misconduct, allegations that painted a very different picture. The warm, friendly image that had made Ellen a household name started crumbling almost overnight, piece by piece. Now, comedian Ricky Gervais is stepping forward with claims that go even further. According to Ricky, Ellen held far more power within Hollywood than most people ever truly realized. More hidden connections, more quiet influence, more unchecked control than anyone imagined. And he hints that there's a far darker chapter to her story, one the public was never really allowed to witness.
When I say everything, I mean people. I honestly, everything about people annoy me.
People annoy you?
Oh, they're the worst. They are the worst.
People are the worst.
They're absolutely the worst.
But what happens if
this world would be better without them?
At the time, most people brushed that statement aside, treating it as nothing more than a passing joke. But now, as fresh rumors about Ellen resurface and spread rapidly online, people are going back to revisit exactly what Ricky once said. So just how much power did Ellen DeGeneres really hold? We sifted through the allegations, the interviews, and the reports to uncover what actually happened behind the scenes. And the further we dug into this story, the more shocking it became. Ricky spoke about how Ellen's entire brand was built around appearing nice. Yet according to him, she never came across as genuinely kind to begin with. The kindness, he claimed, always felt manufactured, almost performed. And interestingly enough, this was a sentiment that even Joe Rogan and Tom Dillon seemed to share with Ricky.
People saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all.
She doesn't seem nice, but that's people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced. People that are like that all the time, she doesn't seem nice. It's very forced. And whatever, you're allowed to be a bitch, right? You're allowed to be a bitch. You're allowed to be nasty to people. You're accomplished. You're a comedian. You did the whole thing. What you're not allowed to do is have a Guantanamo Bay situation in the backstage.
Her entire brand was built around a single unforgettable phrase: be kind. She repeated it endlessly, urging viewers everywhere to treat one another with compassion, warmth, and respect. But according to former staff members and others who claim to have known her on a more personal level, the woman standing behind the cameras wasn't always the same person audiences fell in love with on television.
As well.
Yeah, I did the first 2 years on that show.
And she was
She was rough. She was the C word. Yeah.
Was she just short with you? I mean, what was exactly
It was like
happening?
if you didn't pitch in her wheelhouse, then she looked at you like you had just stabbed her puppy. And then there was this process of pushing people out of the circle. And you want to be in the circle because there's a lot of fear going on.
Yeah.
And you're in or out. So there was a lot of it didn't really bother me that much because I'd written on a lot of shows before and I kind of knew what it was like to have tough.
But to truly understand how she climbed to that level of influence, you have to rewind all the way back to where her story first began. Ellen's road to fame was anything but smooth. At just 23 years old, she still had no real sense of direction in her life. She painted houses, took on factory jobs, worked as a bartender, and even sold vacuum cleaners door to door. Stand-up comedy wasn't even part of her original plan. It was her friends who talked her into performing at a small charity event, and almost by accident, she stumbled upon a natural gift for making people laugh. Ironically, she's openly admitted that she was never truly passionate about comedy itself, yet her relaxed, effortless style turned out to be exactly what audiences were craving. Throughout the 1980s, Ellen crisscrossed the country performing stand-up night after night. Then, in 1982, she won Showtime's Funniest Person in America competition, a victory that finally placed her on Hollywood's radar. Soon afterwards, she began landing spots on major late-night television shows, a massive milestone for any comedian fighting to break into the industry.
I just remembered an appointment I have to get to, so I gotta go. How about that? Got who? Gotta go? Cute? Stupid. All righty. It was good talking to you, too. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.
That's very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everything shifted onto another level entirely in 1994 when ABC handed her a sitcom of her own, simply titled Ellen. She played a quirky, small-town bookstore owner, and almost instantly, the show turned into a genuine success. But television history changed forever in 1997. In what would later become known as the Puppy episode, Ellen's character stepped forward and publicly came out as gay, a truly groundbreaking, era-defining moment for the industry. Yet after coming out so publicly, Ellen's once thriving career slowed down dramatically, almost overnight. She found herself accepting smaller, less significant acting roles in films that ultimately failed to leave any real impact. Around that same time, her then partner, actress Anne Heche, also watched her own career quietly decline throughout their relationship. Years later, Heche would speak openly and candidly about just how difficult that chapter truly was for both of them.
I did too, except I couldn't see the end of it because they ushered Ellen and me out of the premiere before it ended, put us in a car and said, well, we don't want you back here. We will not be accepting pictures of you and Ellen. And then I was fired. I was told before I went to the premiere with Ellen that I would be fired. And I was...
Are we talking about 90?
Now you're going to put years on... yes.
Early, there was 2 volcanoes. Dante's
Yeah,
Peak
but they came
and
out the
then
same
Volcano.
week.
Right.
Ours won, by the way, and then they blamed me for its failure for taking a woman. I was like, but we were #1 in the box office. The confusion of how I was fired and the fact that nobody has ever acknowledged it is just shows, in a way, it shows how much further we've come, because if that would have happened today, obviously.
While the evidence tying Ellen to Epstein remains largely circumstantial, and she herself may never come forward with any admission, plenty of people have begun to speculate that the newly released Epstein files, dropped just today, could be the very thing that finally brings her connection into the light.
Epstein's secret emails are set to be unredacted and released today. One of your top DC Daily headlines for July 2. Epstein files were set to see another batch of unredacted files today, including 8 secret emails, both to and from Epstein, about a reported torture video. Well, President Trump's acting attorney general was told by a federal judge.
Ricky's stance remains unshaken, unmoved by time or pressure. He's always believed that no matter how meticulously someone's image is crafted and protected, the truth has a way of surfacing in the end. It might take years to unravel, sometimes even decades of silence. But sooner or later, he insists, the mask begins to crack, and the public finally glimpses what was really happening behind closed doors, hidden from view all along. Could that moment be unfolding right now, right before our eyes? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below.